Hey, this is Super Game Ghost, and you're watching the 10 items you might have missed in the Shadow of the Erdtree. Now, most of these items aren't necessarily hard to find, but they are easily overlooked. Okay, let's start. Now, this is probably one of the first sets of items most of you would have gotten when starting the DLC, but I don't know, maybe people gave up on this fight because there was no way to summon Spirit Ashes. Either way, I had to put this in because it's freaking Guts' Berserker armor from Berserk. Also, this is probably one of the best looking heavy armor sets we've had so far in Elden Ring. The Greatsword also has a pretty nice unique Ash of War in Solitary Moonslash. These items can be found just northwest of the Graveside Plain Site of Grace, in the Western Nameless Mausoleum. Next is the aspect of the Crucible Wings Ash of War, which is found in the Fort of Reprimand. Finally, we get the coolest move from the Crucible Knights. This Ash of War is usable on all swords and polearms capable of thrusting. When using this Ash of War on a Twin Blade, there will also be an alternate spinning attack performed mid-flight. To obtain this Ash, you must defeat Black Knight Edred, near the southernmost tower by the Fort of Reprimand Site of Grace. Next is an Ash of War known as Wingstance, which is found in Ence's castle. The Wingstance Ash of War is only usable on light greatswords. The only light greatsword I had at the time is known as Milady. The attack patterns utilized in the stance remind me of some of Millennia's movements. Wingstance can be obtained in a lone tower which you can see just off the balcony near the Castle Lord's Chamber Site of Grace. Next up is the Vergis set and the Vergis Great Shield. These items can be found near the High Road after defeating the Invader Moor. The Vergis set is a complete 4-piece heavy armor set which has a lot of poise and actually doesn't look too bad. The Vergis shield is a heavy shield which also has a unique Ash of War in Moor's Charge. These items can be obtained by defeating the Invader Moor just north of the Church of the Crusade, which is just northwest of the High Road Cross Site of Grace. To prompt Moor to invade you, you must first kill the pest who stands at the edge of the cliff. Next up is the Wrath from Afar Incantation. This incantation can be found in the Shadow Keep. Now this incantation is really fun to play with, especially against enemies near a ledge. Wrath from Afar fires a shockwave projectile that knocks back enemies. It can also be charged to increase its effectiveness. This incantation can be found off a giant gear which is nearest to the Storehouse Loft Site of Grace. Now this is something a bit harder to find. It's the Minor Erdtree Incantation and the Golden Braid Talisman. The Minor Erdtree Incantation requires a whopping 70 faith to use, and only heals you and your party over time when you are near the tree, so yeah, it kinda sucks. The Golden Braid Talisman, on the other hand, can be useful as it boosts your holy damage resistance. These items can be found in the Shaman Village near the Hinterland Site of Grace. The Hinterlands are accessed by first finding the O Mother gesture at a lone tree just north of Bonnie Village. Then you use the gesture at a statue near the Commander Gaius boss room. Next up is the beloved Stardust Talisman. This talisman will increase casting speed for incantations and sorceries as though you had 99 dexterity. This comes at a cost though since you are taking a negative 30% damage absorption penalty. This item can be found by speaking to Count Ymir in the Church of the Meter after completing the first portion of his questline. Next, we got the Two-Headed Turtle Talisman, which is found in the Elec River. The Two-Headed Turtle Talisman increases your stamina recovery speed. This is an upgrade to the old Green Turtle Talisman, which is probably one of the most frequently used talismans for most builds. Unfortunately, you cannot pair the Green Turtle and Two-Headed Turtle talismans together. The talisman can be found in a cave obscured by a waterfall near a giant crab. It is due north of the Elec River Cave Site of Grace. Next is the Crucible Hammerhelm and Devonia's Hammer, which is located in Rao Ancient Ruins. Like the other Crucible armor pieces, the Crucible Hammerhelm increases aspects of the Crucible incantations. Devonia's Hammer is a colossal weapon which has a unique Ash of War in Devonia's Vortex. These two items can be found off of Devonia, who is standing on some jagged rocks near the East Rao Ruins Site of Grace. Now we have Count Ymir's armor set and the finger wand, plus Ymir's ball bearing. This is also part of Count Ymir's questline and is available after ringing the third and final bell. Ymir's armor set includes 4 pieces. The helm will also increase arcane and intelligence by +1. Also, his maternal wand will boost the effectiveness of all finger sorceries. In order to obtain these items, you must revisit the Meter Cathedral after defeating Meter Mother Fingers. Once you interact with the chair Count Ymir usually sits on, Jolin will engage you in battle, then Ymir himself will attack you.
And I be the only mother.
Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos.